All the people look at me like I'm a little girl. What did you ever think?
All right, guys, I want to talk about this clip because I think it's really important for artists. I think at times we need to mentally prepare ourselves to become performers and all this stuff. That being said, I think it's a good example. I'm questioning whether this is real. It just seems like really off. But she is doing an intense move. So one thing I've always coached artists with is that you have different realms of performers that you need to think about, right? There are people that focus heavily on their vocals, like Adele, right? And they have a very entertaining show in the way that they communicate to the audience and tell stories. But she's not moving around a ton. She's not dancing, right? And then you have on the other end of it someone like Britney Spears, who it's like I've been to see her live. And, it's lots of props and it's lots of dancers and she's moving all over. And, there's an element of voice, but you kind of know that she's lip syncing and you're there not necessarily for the vocals. You're there for the performance aspect of it, right? And then you have people in the middle, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, who kind of just seem to do it all, and you see them performing their butts off, and they're also like sounding amazing on. They could have what's called sweetened vocals where they have the track in the background, but sometimes you can hear those audio of like their breaths and then they talk and stuff like that, and it just seems very much like they're on point. And I would say they're training, they just intensely train. So I think that's just really important for people to understand, is like you as an artist, right? As a performer, it's something you can consider. What is your importance, right? When we think about Britney Spears, right? I don't necessarily go, oh my God, she is like a 10 vocalist, but she, in her heyday, an amazing performer, did a lot of stuff there. And you didn't necessarily go to the show. Some people would be like, oh, Britney Spears, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, did you really go? You great songs, hit songs, fun songs. She doesn't have a bad voice. I mean, in this clip, it sounds pretty rough, right? And so I don't know what kind of songs are following this, but you can see multiple different, if you see the full clip there, multiple different things happening there. But that being said, I think it's just good for us to focus in, like, what do you perceive as 10 vocals? What do you perceive as 10 performance? 10 vocals could be Adele, performance could be a 7. I love Adele overall, so I just love everything there. I just appreciate artists too, because I can kind of look at it subjectively and go, it's art. What are they focusing in on? What is their team kind of honing in on? And I think that's something that is just good for all artists to kind of take a look at and have some reality and take the pressure off. What is your show? Do you want it all? Or you can focus on your vocals, have an entertaining show, but not necessarily dance.